development or why you deal with certain things, especially rejection. So, if the parents were dealing with, okay, they got pregnant, or your mom got pregnant and she didn't want to, or your dad was having doubts even while in the middle of conception, then that can be a seed for rejection. If a child is born and it's like, we was going over this, I found some papers and I saw some stuff and I was like, dang, that's why that happened. Like, okay, like, let's say your parents wanted a boy, but they got a girl. And they kept speaking the whole time while, you know, while your mom was, you know, the birthing process or whatever, or the pregnancy. Yeah, I don't, you know, because I don't know. But I don't know yet. Amen. But anyways, during the whole pregnancy process, if they wanted a boy but they got a girl, the Bible says that life and death is in the power of the tongue. So while they're pregnant with you and they're speaking that it's going to be a boy, it's going to be a boy, I don't care what, and then you come out a girl, and guess what happens? See that? See the power of the tongue? And they speak it, and then what? 2 or 3 touch as agreeing. What? God has to honor it because that's his word. So they wanted to be a boy, your mama wanted to be a boy, your daddy wanted to be a boy, and you came out a girl. But guess what? The word and the power of agreement has already went into play. So now you understand how homosexuality and lesbianism comes into play, because you had 2 people speaking over this one seed that it was going to be this thing, but it ended up being another thing. And now because it came out a girl but they wanted a boy, then guess what happens? See that? And then they deal with a rejection or sense of rejection, because it's like, man, I really wanted a boy, but we got a girl. Automatically, boom, rejection starts to take place. It starts to settle in. Okay, so watch this. Contemplated abortion, even while they were pregnant with you, they contemplated abortion, giving you up. You received that, because God says, before you were formed, I knew you. Before you were formed, I already knew you. So that means that, you know how they say in the world, like, okay, well, abortion is okay at this stage or whatever, because then technically there's no life. But God said, even before I formed you, I knew you. So it's like, dang, like, so where does life really begin? And what process, or at what point does the child in the womb starts to receive what is being processed in the mother? See what I mean? So then they pick up on that abortion, and then they pick up on that, and they come into this world already knowing that they were not really wanting to be accepted in this world. So then there you go. And then the rejection, again, that's another seed for rejection. Watch this, abandonment. Or I think, what y'all call it? I think something about the latchkey or something?
Yeah, latchkey kid.
Okay, the whole latchkey kid thing. Okay, this is after you're born, but then your parents are too busy. Boom, boom, boom. To show you love, to be there for you, to be right there with you, to pour into you, to invest. It's not about investing a bike. It's not about investing a Sega. I know I had every system since a system came out, except for I had an Atari too, because my mom, she played the Atari 2600 and 5200, so we had those. But I had every system that ever came out, except for a Sega Saturn. I wanted that, but it's all right. I didn't get a Sega Saturn, but I got a Sega Genesis. I got the 16-bit and I got the 32-bit. No, watch this, because I got all that stuff, but I didn't have my father there pouring into me and investing to see, look, okay, so my dad, he was a school teacher. He's been teaching for 50-something years. So he's pulling in like $3,000 every 2 weeks. And then my mom got a side hustle where she's selling dinner. So I'm getting all this. I remember one year, do y'all remember them little 4 houses as kids? Like little Tyco houses, like, or something like that, Tyco. And then like the big ones, like the big ones. Yeah, you can climb on the thing. It was like yellow, green, blue. I had one of them. On top of that, I had that filled up with presents one year. I was like, damn, I'm only like 8, 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? And I remember growing up playing with toys and not even having friends, because a lot of friends would come over and they would be jealous and they would break my stuff. And then, you know, my mom would whoop me. She'd be like, 'cause you allowed it, all this other crap. But anyway, so I grew up playing with toys, playing with all these action men, these G.I. Joes with the Kung Fu grip and all this other stuff. So playing with that stuff, but then where was the investment of time from my mom and my dad? They were too busy. They were busy living their lives. See, because my mom was still young, my dad was old. He understood it, but it was just like, dang, I'm kind of too old. And my dad already had another family before me and my brother and my sister. So in a sense, it's like I've already raised my family. You see what I mean? So I don't have to be there like that. As long as I get him stuff, as long as I show him love through material things, then I don't ever have to manifest a type of love that goes straight from the heart to the heart. See what I mean? So then in a sense, that's a setup for abandonment. Because it's like, yeah, I have my toys. Yeah, I have my video games, but where's my father? You know what I'm saying? Like, I see him. And sometimes that's a worse thing, because most people struggle with, and I know a lot of people, and I always felt left out because I'm like, dang, all these people talking about their dad was not in the house. And I was like, mine was. But then God showed me, like, yeah, yours was, but he wasn't because he was there, but you couldn't reach him the way that you needed to reach him. You know what I mean? So then that sets itself up as abandonment. And then my mom, she was always, like I said, partying and doing whatever. My mom, she loved me, but then in a sense, it's still abandonment because it's like, Mom, I'm looking for the right way how to live, but you're showing me the wrong way. You're allowing me to feel abandoned because it says that if you raise a child in the right way, they should go later on, they will not depart. See, department has to do with abandonment. So it's just like, oh, okay, well, later on, I still felt abandoned because now, you know, here I am, Mom, you're gone, Dad, you're struggling, and I never got the right insight that I needed. So it set it up later for abandonment. Okay, so that's another seed for rejection. Abuse is another seed for rejection because someone constantly beating on you, are you supposed to feel accepted by them? If someone's verbally abusing you, are you supposed to be accepted by them when it comes to conversation? Physical, emotional, mental abuse, all that stuff is seeds for rejection. And then two of the ones that we deal with the most. Turmoil in the home sets itself up as rejection. If you see fighting constantly going in the house between two people that don't have nothing to do with you, are you to feel accepted by that or are you to feel rejected by that? Because it's in a sense, it sets itself up like this. Okay, so if them two are arguing, if mom and dad are arguing, I say mom and dad are arguing, but they're not paying attention to me, then I'm going to feel rejected because I'm like, hey, while you guys are arguing, what about me? What about my needs? What about my wants? You know what I'm saying? As a child, the child has needs and wants. Not so much when you're 18 and you see your parents arguing, you should be at the house. But when you're younger and you see that, and they're so caught up and consumed with love of self because right and wrong and all this opinion, then they don't have no time for the child. So turmoil in the house can set itself up as a seed of rejection. And then peer rejection. High school is where a lot of us experience rejection.
Come on.
Okay, well, for me, because I was skinny. Skinny people get rejected a whole lot. It's just the truth, right? Like, you feel me? Like, we just get rejected. It's just... No, I'm serious. Big people get it too. But little people get it too. I'm not big, so I'm speaking from my own self-experience. But even your peer rejection, wanting to be accepted among your ballet people or your crumpers or your painters or whatever, especially in the ministry, it's hard to feel accepted when you're just coming in and you're seeing everybody run kind of fast. And then you want to run fast too, but you can't because it's God who reveals revelation and understanding. You want to get all that, but it's God who does it in his timing. Yes. I know I experienced that when I came in and I saw Jason running. I felt like, dang, like, okay, well, I want to run with him, you know what I mean? And I was able to, but then it came to a point when it was like, yeah, but you did all that for the wrong reason. You know what I mean? So then God shut it down. I remember I was talking to Simeon, and I was like, man, I can't get nothing. Like, my revelation and understanding is all gone. Like, it's gone. Like, it was a weapon or something. And, you know what I mean? Like, but God had to shut it down and show me that I'm the one that, you know, blinds the eyes or I uncover the eyes. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're doing it for the right or wrong reasons. And if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, God gonna bust you out. So that created, like, peer rejection because I felt like I couldn't go. Or there's certain people that come into the ministry and they feel like, man, I want to be able to flow like how y'all flow in the spirit. And it's just like, but it's not your timing because there's times and seasons for everything. This is your time for, you know, getting it in so that you can pour out. It's not your time for pouring out when you have nothing to pour out. You have to have something to pour in first. So that creates in itself another seed of rejection. Now, here's the fruit of rejection. All right, and now the fruit of rejection is this. After all that, after the unwanted conception, wrong, getting an agreement for the wrong type of birth, abortion, abandonment, abuse, peer rejection, turmoil in home, now you become rebellious. Now you become angry. Now you become bitter. Now you're filled with guilt, poor self-image, escapism, and judgmentalism. Now let me tell you what escapism is. If you're one of those kids that always found yourself playing a video game, or you always find yourself playing, not playing, but daydreaming, yes. Or if you find yourself always imaginary friends playing with the toys, I'm going to kill you, and all the other stuff. You was in the bathtub, and you had the toys, and you were in there for like 2 hours, yes. And you were in there so long, after you got clean, you got back dirty because the ring around the tub and all the other stuff, because you didn't want to go back to the, you know what I'm saying, to the other room. You didn't want to go back and face that stuff, so you stayed in the bathtub and you play with your toys or you play with all your imaginary friends and all the other crap, then that's what you call escapism, because you're trying to escape. Especially with me, I'm speaking from a sense of video games, because Madden all day. I promise.